So Mexico's government is socialist and running full speed towards communism. I go down to Tijuana often. I have family there. One of the hot topics right now is that the local government is trying to force shopping centers to make the first 40 minutes of parking free. Now, as a free market capitalist, I of course am totally against this. Follow me for a second on this. Let's go through the logic. Let's say you're an investor. You're going to buy a piece of land and you're going to build a shopping center on it. Now, you're getting charged by the square foot, right? So you have to figure out how you're going to make the most from your investment, because you're going to spend a lot of money in building, all the plumbing, all the electrical, the buildings themselves, and obviously the government's going to tell you, hey, you need to provide some parking for your customers, because if not, then everybody's going to park on the streets, and then it's going to start affecting, the community at large. And okay, I can go with that. Okay. So if you're going to build something, you got to build parking space. But now the problem is that that's a lot of space, probably more than what you're building for retail that you're going to rent out, that isn't going to be making you any money unless you charge for the parking. So what happens if the government tells you, no, you can't charge for the parking, at least for the first 40 minutes? Most people, I think, go in, buy what they need to buy and leave. You could do it in 40 minutes. So that's a big, big chunk of that property that you paid for, that you're paying taxes for, that isn't producing you any money. So what are you going to do to make up that difference? You're going to bring rents up. And what are your renters going to do to make up the difference in the higher rent? They're going to put up their prices. And who's going to pay for that? The public. The problem that I have with the government mandating it is that that's how they get in. They say, oh, we're going to do this for the people. It's not fair. It's abusive to charge somebody to park while they shop at your stores. And most of the people are going to say, yeah, free parking. But what's going to happen? Here's a couple things. The government is going to say, okay, well, the people are cool with that. So now we're already mandating new construction to provide parking. But what about old construction? Maybe businesses along the street that don't have parking. So now they're going to say, hey, you need to pay us for the sidewalk outside. A certain area of the sidewalk so that your patrons can park. It's a slippery slope, and we've seen it time and time again when the government uses a backdoor to try and run our lives. We see it through nationalizing enterprises, local businesses, and it's just not worth it. No matter how good a government's proposal is to help the people, once you give them power, they will not let it go.